Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Josh all alone with you on a Wednesday. Back to my midweek updates after last week where I was supposed to be on vacation, wasn't on vacation, ended up being sick, and it was just a whole you-know-what kind of show of a week, but we're back. We are mostly healthy. You know how these kind of things linger on, but for the most part, we're doing good and actually feeling a whole lot better than the Cleveland Browns are right now because, again, we are going to continue the discussion of what is going on with this team. Why is it so bad? Can it be fixed? Will it get fixed? All that kind of stuff. So let's move through some of these updates. We're going to talk a lot about Deshaun Watson today. There's been a lot of information coming out the last couple of days, just simply based on film review. And so I got a couple video clips to show in here and we're going to have a little bit of fun today. So let's just go through it all. But before I get into it, please, if you guys are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel. Tap the notification bell so you don't miss anything new. We do have some cool things coming up. For instance, Sunday, this is not a guarantee, but there is a possibility that we will be doing a YouTube Live pregame show in the morning ahead of the Browns taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, because we are going to have former Browns player Felix Wright in studio, and we're going to be interviewing him ahead of time, and then we'll probably just jump in and do a live pregame interaction with you guys on YouTube and just have some fun in the morning before things spiral out of control yet again on another Sunday afternoon. So make sure you guys have that notification bell tapped. And I haven't said this in a while, but if you guys are listening to the podcast on audio, Spotify, please tap 5-star rating, give us a 5-star rating and a follow on Spotify. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it really, really helps out the show, especially on the audio side. If you'll give us a written 5-star review, and all you got to do is scroll down to the bottom of the app, the Dawgs Podcast page that you're on right now. Just tap leave review, give us 5 stars, and then just any kind of quick comment like great podcast, great Browns content, great follow, whatever. Just throw something quick in there. Give us a 5-star review that's written, and that really does help out the show, and we appreciate it very much. Okay, so before I got to mention, make sure you guys go to jointhedogs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. If you want to get into the Dog Pack Discord episodes, we are doing one tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, like usual, to preview the upcoming game against the Eagles. You guys get to jump on stage, talk to us. It's almost like a live radio show, but we just host it in our Discord, the private Discord, which you get access to if you become a Dog Pack member. So make sure you head to jointhedogs.com to become an official Dog Pack member. Okay. Let's talk about, first of all, I've gotten a lot of questions. We've gotten a lot of questions over the last week or so, some comments and things about the latest Deshaun Watson lawsuit that was filed last month, came out right after that lovely home opener against the Cowboys on the Monday. And there was a new lawsuit filed against Deshaun Watson alleging that there was an incident back in October 2020. He was accused of sexual assault, battery. You guys kind of know the drill by now with him and these allegations. So that came out, and then it was the same attorney as before, Tony Busby, and he said that basically he was busy, had some stuff going on professionally, and then that he was going to be getting the client with the NFL. She was going to be speaking with them. They're opening an investigation to see if Watson violated the personal conduct policy. Could be another suspension issued. Yada, yada, yada. So it was kind of all hush-hush after that. Like there was crickets, not a whole lot of information coming out about that in the weeks following when that all came out. So it just left open a lot of speculation and wondering what in the world is going on. So it came out the other day that Busby himself, I believe, announced that the situation, the case has been settled confidentially, so we don't know what the terms of the settlement were, how much money Watson had to pay for this to go away or whatever, or how much she got from it. But in terms of the NFL investigation, they've declined to comment on the situation now. And I'm just doing some reading and some speculatory things. Seems very unlikely that this woman is going to be cooperating with the NFL now and talking to them about their investigation into this because she's already gotten paid. There is nothing more to glean from this. And honestly, it was probably part of the terms of the settlement that she would not be speaking with the NFL. So that way, that whole situation would just stop. So I'd be very surprised if anything more comes of this, if there's any more investigation from the NFL side of things. Again, like I said, very, very unlikely that this woman will or probably even can now at this point speak with the NFL. So that's that. I think this one is wrapped up and put in the books. Nothing more to worry about it. I know that there's been a lot of people online saying that they're upset that this got settled, that she's not talking to the NFL, because a lot of people wanted Deshaun Watson to get suspended so that way the Browns would have an out in his contract and everything. But if you guys, I highly recommend, and we're going to be talking about Quincy Carrier. I got a clip of his to play on the episode today. Go follow Quincy on YouTube. The dude he does such a great job with all of his reporting and everything that he does following the Browns. And what he talked about with this whole potential Deshaun suspension situation was, even if the NFL suspended him and the Browns had something in the contract that said, if you're suspended again or miss any other time for something that wasn't predetermined or disclosed to them ahead of the contract initial signing, that they could get out of it. Like, it's not just a simple hit the button, oh, you're suspended, we're out of the contract, and it's all done, we wipe our hands and walk away. Like, that was not the situation. Everything was going to have to go through court. Quincy broke it down really well, made it make a lot of sense. So go check out his video on that because, it all made perfect sense. If the Browns wanted to get out of this contract, this fully guaranteed contract with Deshaun Watson, they would have to go through a court process because Watson and his team aren't just going to take that. They're not just going to accept it. There will be appeals. There would be a court battle. It was going to get really, really messy anyhow. So, one, it was not going to be as cut and dry and simple as a lot of people really wanted to think it was going to be. And two, just stop and think about what you're saying for a second. Whenever you're saying, man, I really wish this was true, or I wish he got suspended for this, like, you're basically, think about what you're saying. You really hope that this woman was sexually assaulted and beaten just to get a player off of your football team? Come on. Like, we've got to separate some of our raw fanatic emotion from the human side of things and say, I really hope the situation didn't happen. And I really hope it's not what she's alleging it is. And at this point in time, we'll never know because it has been settled. So all we can do now is speculate, which I am not going to do because I don't freaking want to. There's enough other bullcrap to talk about with Watson and this team. So just wanted to update everybody on that lawsuit situation. And unless something crazy happens, which is never out of the realm of possibility with this team, this one should be pretty much cut dry and over. So, okay, let's move on here. I'm doing this Wednesday morning. Obviously, Browns haven't taken the field or done any of their practicing press conference. There's no injury report out yet or anything today. And it really doesn't matter, to be honest. That's kind of where I'm at as a Browns fan and following the team and everything right now is, okay, injury report comes out. Jack Conklin, Jed Wills will be on there. I'm sure DeJuan Jones will be on there. David Njoku, Myles Garrett. Like, everyone's going to be, we'll have 25 people on the injury report. Half of them will be DNPs. The other half will be limited, whatever. At this point in time, it does not freaking matter because the team sucks. Team sucks. And the one main thing, it's Wednesday. We had Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, and guess what? Not a damn thing has been changed yet. The Browns have not come out and said that they're Kevin Stefanski has not made the announcement that Ken Dorsey is going to call the plays on Sunday. They have not announced that Jameis Winston is going to be starting on Sunday. They haven't made any changes yet this week, so I expect no changes to happen on Sunday. The 32nd ranked offense is going to go out there and get their asses annihilated by the Philadelphia Eagles, who I just picked up in my one remaining fantasy league that does still do defensive plays. I made sure I bid and got the Eagles this week because they are going to have at least, on the low end, they'll get 5 sacks. There's a chance they get 10. There's always a chance you get 10 sacks against Deshaun Watson right now. So I don't want to sit here and just continue to berate him, but at the same time, that's pretty much how this is going to come across. I feel like we've been trying to explain this. I've been trying to explain to a lot of people on social media who just, they see the clips, they see our quick posts, and they don't actually watch the podcast like you guys do. You guys who watch the show know we have been the biggest Deshaun Watson supporters and believers for the longest time now. And I mean, we got invited to go to his 7-on-7 camp over the summer and sit down and interview the guy. Like, we have been his biggest supporters because, and I've got some numbers to back all this up, but we believed so much that he could take another step forward because of what we saw last season. And instead of a step forward, it has been like 5 steps back. And again, like I said, I got the numbers to back all this up. So I'm not just stating an opinion here. The numbers do prove exactly what we're seeing, what we're feeling. And now that we've got new information, we have to make new adjustments to our opinions, to our takes, and to our approach for how we want to see this team hopefully find some success moving forward. So, and again, if you've watched this show continuously, you know, like we've been saying this from the beginning of this season, like the league worst offense that the Browns are putting out there on the field every week, it's not 100% on Deshaun Watson. We know that, you know that. There's a lot of things that need fixed on this offense. And obviously, if he's the starter on Sunday in Philadelphia against the Eagles, we are obviously going to be rooting for him. We want him to succeed because we want the Browns to succeed. I don't want to watch this boring Pee-wee style offense where it's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and we can't pick up a single first down the entire game. Like, it's not fun to watch. There's no joy whatsoever. And watching football should be fun. I have fun when I watch all these other games. I mean, I know I'm not emotionally invested in any of these other teams like I am with the Browns, but it doesn't matter. The Browns are not fun to watch, and I want them to be. I want them to succeed. So obviously we're rooting for Deshaun Watson to turn this around and to be that guy that we all hoped and believed he could be this year. But, you know, even though all these problems on offense and really around the team, because even the defense has its own issues. I mean, they can't tackle the special teams. There's been miscommunications and just all kinds of things. There are a lot of problems that need cleaned up on this team, but many of the problems, especially on offense, they might not all be Deshaun Watson's problems, but they do mostly all, in some way, stem from him. And that stems from his inability to run the offense. So this was a great one. I'm going to play a clip here. This is from the Fantasy Footballers podcast. I heard this earlier this week, and I just thought, man, I have got to play this on our show. Hat tip, Jason Moore, one of the hosts over there at the Fantasy Footballers, gave a great analogy on, you know, like people are saying, oh, well, the offensive line is terrible for the Browns, and that's why Deshaun Watson's not playing, blah, blah, blah. Just listen to what these guys have to say.
I can already hear every single person listening to this show right now that wants to still apologize for the Browns will tell me their offensive line makes it impossible for Deshaun Watson to do anything competent. And on some level, that is a piece of the poop pie that is being baked in Cleveland.
When you look and you see the corn, you know, and you're like, that's what I ate.
Oh, gosh.
That's like, okay, the offensive line is a part of that poop. I see it.
It's the corn
it's there.
in the feces of the Browns.
Yeah, but the Browns' primary ingredient here
in the
is
fecal
Deshaun
matter.
Watson.
Yeah.
And at least half of his sacks are 100% on him.
Yeah, he has a mindset that when the going gets tough, I'm going to hold the ball and run around.
Right.
Instead of get the ball out quick, adjust the offense,
take off even.
Listen to his coach, you know, not walk off the field on a 4th down.
So, I mean, right there, you guys hear it. This is an outside. These guys cover the entire league, every team and everything. So based on, you know, they're not sitting here evaluating the Browns in depth every week like we are. You know, this is their quick reaction to what they're seeing so far through the season. And this is what they take from it. I mean, I love the analogy that, you know, the offensive line is just a piece of the massive poop pie that is the Browns offense. The offensive line is like the corn and the poop. You can look at your poop and say, yep, I had corn last night. Yeah, I do see that. But there is a lot more than just the corn there. And the rest of it, like they were saying, I mean, it's Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's all coming from his inability to get rid of the ball. He holds the ball way too long. And we're going to dive into here. Let me look at my notes and see. We'll get into this here in a little bit. I got a video clip from Quincy's film breakdown from week 5. You guys have got to go watch the entire video. It's like 30 minutes, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. He breaks down. It's not like every single play, but it's a lot of plays. I don't know if it's every incompletion or whatever of Deshaun Watson from the game, but it's bad, guys. It is so bad. The film really does reveal a lot. So we'll get into that here in a minute. But the formula here for me, for us, for the show, whatever, I think the formula is it's pretty simple. If the Cleveland Browns are in any way, if even just a little bit at all, they are in any way serious about trying to win a football game, especially the one like coming up here on Sunday, they would bench Deshaun Watson and they would start Jameis Winston in Philadelphia. Philly's coming off a bye. Again, we'll do a preview show tomorrow night, but I mean, I think you guys already kind of get the gist, and you guys have watched the games. You know how this is going to go. They're coming off the bye. They're getting their top 2 stud playmaking weapons on offense back. This is probably going to be like a 37-6 game, most likely. It doesn't matter that Philly's secondary is giving up a lot of passing yards and points to quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff and receivers. We're not going to be able to get it done. The Commanders are even worse. The Giants were even worse. The Raiders were even worse. Can't do it. Can't get it done. So if the Browns are going to start Deshaun Watson, they're not going to move to Jameis Winston this week, then we can, as Browns fans, it sucks, but we can go ahead and confirm that the organization right now is not prioritizing winning. It is winning football games is not a priority for this organization. They only prioritize making sure that whoever has the bigger contract number is the one who's on the field. So the results don't matter, only the money, and we get to suffer for it. We get to suffer a very, not just a losing football team, but a very bad losing football team. Like, with the talent on the roster, with the expectations, with this coaching staff, with everything that we've invested into this team, to have a competitive, let's make a run at this thing kind of season, it's the worst team I think we've ever watched. So I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. This is exactly how I feel, because I feel like this is the truth. This episode is sponsored by Leaf Filter. Browns fans, whether the team is winning or not, you are the most die-hard, loyal fans in the league, year in and year out. And just like you, Leaf Filter has been supporting clean gutters in Northeast Ohio year after year. And because Leaf Filter is the official gutter guard of the Cleveland Browns, they have a limited time offer for all of you barking dogs. Right now, you can get up to 32% of your entire qualified purchase and 2 free official Browns jerseys at leaffilter.com/dogs. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever cleaned your gutters, but it's a tedious, messy, time-consuming chore. So cut down on your weekend home maintenance, cross off another item on that to-do list so you can spend more time watching football on your days off. Leaf Filter uses award-winning patented technology to keep everything out of your gutters except for the water. Schedule your free gutter inspection today for a free no-obligation estimate on protecting your home from flooding, roof damage, rotting siding, foundation issues, and all those things you really don't need to be dealing with as a homeowner. A Leaf Filter trusted pro will clean out your gutters, realign and seal them before installing Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection now, and for a limited time, get up to 32% off your entire qualified purchase and 2 free Browns jerseys at Leaf Filter, leaffilter.com/dogs, DAWGS. That's a free inspection, up to 32% off, and 2 free Browns jerseys with a qualified purchase at leaffilter.com/dogs. Offer valid on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. Full terms and conditions can be found at leaffilter.com/dogs. See representatives for warranty details. All right, so let's keep talking about Deshaun here. Like I said earlier in the show, you know, we spent all off season. We were in a state of just the highest hopes for Watson because, I mean, number one, he's the Browns quarterback coming into the season. Like, we were getting on a lot of people online, just support the quarterback, because there's a lot of people that were rooting for the Browns to fail out of the gate just because they didn't like Deshaun Watson. It was like, I'll never root for the Browns to fail just because I don't like one player. Okay? That's not how this works. So we were very, very high on Deshaun. And because last year in 2023, he actually played well. He did. I mean, we've been over it many times on this show. The offense was able to move the ball. We scored points. We were like, 24, 22, 27, 27, 33 points scored in all the games that he played. We were a very productive offense. We were 4-1. We won games. Like, it was good. Things were good and things were progressing in the right direction. And then, of course, the injury derailed everything. I was like, okay, well, that sucks. But, he was getting better as the season was going on. The team was being productive. Things were going well, and that's not happening anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the shoulder injury messed with him like mentally or physically more than anybody even knows, but it just doesn't feel like, I don't know if he doesn't feel like he can't make the throws. But whatever it is, Deshaun Watson is not the same quarterback. And like Blake said on Monday night, don't think he can play football anymore. And that's really hard to say. That is really hard to say for us because we've been such staunch supporters and defenders based on, again, last year. I know there's people that, he only had the one good half of football. I got some numbers here. We'll talk about some numbers. It was definitely good last year. There was reason to be optimistic for sure heading into this season. But let's talk about Quincy Carrier's film breakdown for week 5. I've got like a 4.5 minute clip here to play. It's just one of the plays. Again, he did 12 different plays or something that he broke down. This is just one of them. But I think this was the most glaring. This was the one that made me just want to beat my head against the desk over and over repeatedly. So if you're listening on audio to this, there is voiceover. Obviously, he's talking through the play. So you'll be able to listen. You'll be able to kind of get the picture painted for you. But I highly recommend, if you are listening on audio, go to YouTube, at least just for this quick segment, watch this clip so that you can actually see it. Because like I said, you'll get the picture from his voiceover and his talking through it. But I promise you, the actual picture in this situation, it's worth the 1,000 words that people always say the picture is worth. So check this out, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
There are a number of plays like this in this week's film. And this is why I'm like, yeah, I'm done. You got to bench him at this point. Because we can complain about the offense, but look at this, man. There's so many open wide receivers on this play. So right here, I believe that's Cedric Tillman. He releases to the flat after he chips. Bam, wide open. All right, let's bring it back. Let's run it back to the top. Okay, let's look at... Is this guy running a route? Let's see if this guy runs a route, and let's see if he's open. I think he will, and I think he is open. Let's see. Right here. The chip release. Bam, wide open. But, hey, it's 3rd and long. Maybe you want to get a first down. I'm not mad at that. See Jerry Jeudy, right? He's a deep threat. Let's see if he gets open right here. What's Jerry Jeudy running? He's running an in or a backside dig. Right? He's running there. Let's see if he gets open versus this too high look that the Commanders attempt to run here. See, he gets a nice little press, and bam, he's open. He's open. Ball's not out yet. That's open right there. Oh, yeah, that's wide open, and that's a first down. It's first down right there. Cool. All right, let's go back. Hey, let's see what Jordan Atkins is doing. He's running a 9, I believe, right? Because that would make sense. This is basically dagger on the backside of this play, where you're running a backside dig and then you're running a 9 over top of it to try to leverage guys. And it really does work versus cover 2. It's a 2-beater. You get that here, and yes, he is open, actually. This play worked fantastically. You have the dig open if you want it. You can take this little seam shot here if you want it, if you're really good at quarterback. You have this play open here, this play open here, but let's see where Amari Cooper is to see if there was an opportunity for Deshaun Watson to make a play to Amari Cooper. He is running what is called a corner route. You know what a corner route is. It's one of the most popular routes in all of football. Looks a little bit like this, right? Let's see if that gets open here for Deshaun Watson. And, yep, it's open right here. Little bit of a tougher throw, right? But it's open. That's space. He couldn't have been wrong if he threw the ball on this play. That's my whole point. This was a valid option. This was a valid option. This was the option, by the way. Number one, put that there. Backside dig, Jerry Jeudy, wide open. Got it there. And even this was a valid option. Some of these would have been tougher throws than the other. But all of these, if he just throws it, would have been fine choices. Hell, given where the sticks are and looking at how undisciplined the Commanders are about where they are in relation to these sticks, you could have got the first down on this. Maybe this. That would have been tough. You definitely could have got it on this. This would have been a tough play. You're throwing it in triple coverage, but there is a window there. And this would have definitely got the first down. He couldn't have been wrong if he threw this ball, man. Instead, he runs the ball and gets 3 yards. That's the stuff, man. That's the stuff that makes people not want to play anymore. That's the stuff that makes wide receivers just zone out. I mean, everybody was open. We're going to blame that on Ken Dorsey? We're going to blame that on Kevin Stefanski? Everybody's open on that play. He couldn't have been wrong on any choice he made. What do you want me to say about that? How is that not just on the quarterback there? I mean, he got protected. Let's run it back. I want to make sure the protection was good, right? He got protected. Bam. Clean pocket. He decides to leave. Pocket's clean as hell. I don't know what he's looking at, what he's waiting on, what he's trying to see. Yeah, man. The offense is going to look like shit if you don't run it. This ain't the offense. We're not even getting a chance again for this offense to be determined if it's good or not. That's why I think Watson needs to be benched. Too much of this shit.
That's brutal. It is so brutal when you go and watch the film breakdown, and it's not just this play, guys. And this one was kind of the epitome of the whole thing. Like, this had every bad thing that he did in that game all in one play. And it was, first of all, you got a clean pocket. Like, I think Quincy even said, like, bro, where are you going? Like, it's clean. Why are you leaving? Where are you going? There's nowhere to go. You're good. The pocket is clean. You got 5 routes being run, and all of them were open. Now, obviously, like Quincy said, I mean, when we say all of them are open, if you go watch the video, if you're just listening on audio, the Jordan Akins route, probably not open. That would take a very nice throw. I mean, there are quarterbacks in the league who could make that throw. It's not like he was totally covered and removed from the play. Like, yes, that was a throw you could make if you could make it. But the other 4 routes, the Jerry Jeudy dig route on the backside was the one that I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Not only was it a first down, it was way beyond the sticks, and it would have been a big play. And then the 2 guys underneath, I think, what was it, Strong or Ford or whatever. It's maddening. It's maddening to see that there, and this, again, it's not just this play. Please go watch his whole film breakdown. And what I took away from his entire film breakdown is that I think the Browns actually do have a pretty darn good wide receiver in Jerry Jeudy. The dude was open a ton. He was open for a couple touchdowns. I mean, this with good quarterback play, this game, I mean, Jerry Jeudy could have been 100+ yards, a couple scores. Like, this could have been a completely different looking ball game on the scoreboard at the end, with just different quarterback play. There were multiple plays where the pocket is clean, guys. And that's the thing that another big takeaway for me from the entire film breakdown was, wow, the offensive line is not as bad as we think it is. It really isn't. Go watch it. Seriously, go watch it. I'm so sick and tired of people on social media trying to argue with me over things when they haven't watched it. Like, if you're going to argue with me, at least go watch it first so you know what you're talking about. Otherwise, we can't have a legitimate discussion because only I've watched it, not you. So get educated and then debate. But the offensive line, not as bad as what it is being made out to be. The receivers not being open, that's a lie. Go watch the tape. Oh my goodness, we've got guys open everywhere. And it's the pre-snap stuff that Blake's been harping on a lot. It is the pre-snap, understanding what the defense is doing. There was one play in particular where the Commanders brought 8 to the line. They were showing all out blitz. I mean, they had everybody up on the line, And Quincy was pointing it out. He's like, they got 8 on the line. We've got 5 linemen. And Deshaun doesn't adjust. He doesn't call for a quick route or anything to counteract what he's seeing the defense show. And it's like, what are we doing here? And that was a play where they brought the pressure. The line basically collapsed and Deshaun went down. And it was like, well, yeah, that was obviously going to happen. Because we have we got 3 wide receivers on the left running long developing routes. You've got to check down into something to adjust for what the defense is showing you. He harps a lot on Deshaun Watson's post-game press conference talking about, like, we just need to take what the defense is giving us. Quincy says so many times throughout that film breakdown on each play, if you're all about taking what the defense is giving you, then take what the defense is giving you. There's so many routes underneath where guys are wide open, quick. And it's like, if he would just get rid of the ball, if he knew that there was going to be pressure coming from the left side, this goes back to the pre-snap. Like, if you know, as soon as you drop back, you see, okay, I'm getting pressure from my left side. I know that route right there is open because that linebacker's coming. Those are the kind of things you need your quarterback to be able to process quickly, and then that's all part of getting the ball out quick. Getting the ball out quick is not just a simple drop back and throw it as fast as you can, as quickly as you can to somebody. It's knowing, okay, if I drop back and I get pressure from my left side, I know that Tillman's over here running this quick curl, and I'm going to just turn and I'm going to throw it to him. Or if I get pressure from my right, I know that I'm going to step up and dump it off to Ford, leaking out, into the flat or something like that. It's understanding where the players are going to be and what the situation is going to dictate. He's not taking what the defense is giving him at all. So it's frustrating. It really is. It's depressing watching the film breakdown, but again, it does make me feel better about our offensive line. It does make me feel better about our receivers. It makes me feel better about Kevin Stefanski and Ken Dorsey. It's not like the offense is completely inept. It is just not being run. That's the thing. We talk about, well, the entire offense is incompetent. Maybe not. Maybe that's an unfair evaluation and just a very lazy, quick take because it looks that way during the game. It looks like the whole thing is just incompetent. Everybody's a moron. Nobody knows what they're doing. When you go and you look at the tape and you watch each individual component of the offense, it's like, okay, it's there. It's just not being run. It's not being executed. And that all starts at the quarterback position. So you guys know that I'm not a big fan of using any singular statistic to be the end-all, be-all stat, to tell the whole story about a guy or one, this position, that player, whatever. But there's no denying Watson, he's completely fallen off. And, QBR is one of those things that a lot of people like to point to. Oh, well, the QBR was this or the QBR was that. Like, okay, but that's not the whole story sometimes. But whenever you look at QBR over a long stretch or, we're going to look at some yards, and his EPA is not good, but we won't get into EPA today. But let's just look at these QBR numbers. And this is where I'm talking about this year versus last year, okay? So if we look back at 2023, in the 5 games that Deshaun Watson played, his QBR in those games, week 1 against the Bengals, 62.5. Week 2 against the Steelers, 15.2. Week 3 against the Titans was 79.6. And then, what was it, week 9, I think, or whatever, against the Cardinals, 37.5. And then week 10 against the Ravens, 56.5. So his average QBR last year, keep these numbers in mind, his average QBR in 2023 was a 43.7. His highest was a 79.6 against the Titans. Lowest was at 15.2 against the Steelers. He was over 200 yards in every single game except for the rain game in week 1 where he had 154. So those are just some kind of simple stats, but I want to compare those numbers to what we're seeing right now in 2024. So what were his QBRs for 2024 so far? In 5 games, 8.5, 40.3, 25.7, 29, and 8.3. 2 weeks with single-digit QBRs. His lowest last year, if you guys remember, what I said was a 15.2. His lowest this year was 8.3 and 8.5. His average QBR last year was a 43.7. His average this year, 21. 21 QBR over the first 5 weeks is the lowest in the entire league. It's lower than Will Levis. It's lower than Anthony Richardson. It's lower than Bryce Young. He is the worst QBR in the entire league. His highest last year was 79.6. His highest this year, 40.3. 40.3 QBR would have been his third lowest last season. His third lowest a season ago is now his highest. His QBR average this season is less than 50% of what it was last year. And he has 0 200-yard games. Again, the blame is not 100% on Deshaun Watson and just only Deshaun Watson, but he cannot be the quarterback if this team wants to try to win ball games. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. If they start him, it just tells me as a fan, they don't really care about winning. They care about proving or trying to prove that they were right in their trade, in their contract for Deshaun Watson. We all know now, after 5 games of 2024, they were not. They were wrong. The experiment is over. It's time to move on. I have no... we supported Deshaun Watson heavy on this show. I don't have so much pride as to sit here and say the Browns need to keep starting him because I want to be right. I was wrong. I admit it. I want to see the Browns win some damn ball games. So let's put Jameis in there and try to win some freaking games because this crap sucks. What we're watching on the field so far this season is terrible. It's so bad that honestly, I don't even want to watch it. I'm not excited to watch the game on Sunday. I'm not excited to turn it on. I make sure that when I'm sitting down on the couch watching the Browns, I've got Red Zone on my iPad so that I can at least watch some other games and see what's going on because the Browns game is not exciting. There's nothing good happening whatsoever on the Browns side of things. And if they continue to trot him out there, I'm sorry, they're not serious about winning, and it sucks. And you guys know that we obviously we talked about this on Monday. What's Kevin supposed to do? It's not a Kevin Stefanski. I'm not going to sit here and point all the blame on Kevin Stefanski. However, I know we obviously we still support him. We still think he's a great coach, but he does need to coach. We all believe the national media, everybody except for what the Browns are coming out and saying believes that his hands are completely tied. Probably by the Haslams saying that nope, you cannot bench Deshaun. He has to be the quarterback. Blah blah blah. Because, there's no legitimate way, guys. I just read for you those stats, the QBRs, how everything is just not even close, not even halfway close to what it was last season. No other legitimate coach in the NFL would not have already made a quarterback change. You cannot have 2 single-digit QBR weeks within a 5-week span and still be the starting quarterback of an NFL team. It wouldn't happen anywhere else, but it's happening here. This episode is brought to you by Boden Sports. Browns fans, Boden Sports is your one-stop shop for all your athletic gear. Boden started out perfecting and manufacturing the best balls in the business. Yeah, if that sounded dirty, that's more about your mind than my words. But hey, it's true. Baseballs, softballs, footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, soccer balls, you name it, and Boden has engineered the highest standard sports balls available. And now they offer more than just sports balls. If you got kids playing baseball or softball, Boden has batting gloves and bats to go along with both game balls and training balls. If you're into basketball, Boden makes basketball specifically for indoor or outdoor use. Heck, Boden even has all the equipment you need for pickleball, which is one sport that I hear everyone is playing and yet I still never have. And I need to fix that soon. But don't miss the backyard games section of Boden's website, where you can order everything you need for this upcoming outdoor season. Pool balls, backyard volleyball nets, croquet, bocce, horseshoes, cornhole, and more. Right now, you can get 10% off your entire order at Boden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS when you check out. That's 10% off all the top quality sporting gear you need this season. BodenSports.com/dogs. With all that being said, though, Kevin is not blameless in this situation. Okay, there is a lot of other things going on in this wet fart of a season. There's too many penalties, too many undisciplined moments on the field. Players not looking like they're prepared for the game. I mean, we had 12 men on the field last week on a 4th down call, a timeout because of a penalty, all this stuff. It all looks like a cluster F, if you know what I'm saying. And there's so many things that need fixed. The first thing would be getting Winston in there, trying to ignite a spark on this offense. Because if you ignite a spark on the offense, hey, let's pick up a freaking first down, guys. How's that sound? If you can get out there and move the ball, maybe score some early points, give your defense a rest, they get a little more energized, they get a little more motivated to go out there and rah and be the defense that we saw last year and get after the quarterback. Who knows? We might be able to pull off a couple wins, but it's not going to happen with Watson executing this offense, because he doesn't execute the offense. So that's kind of my whole spiel right now on this situation with the quarterback. We will talk more about it tomorrow night. You guys will see the episode on Friday if you're not part of the Dog Pack Discord. But again, if you want to be part of the Discord show, tomorrow night we are going to preview the Eagles game. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about this stuff. We really like to just kind of give our input at the beginning and then just step back, let you guys get on stage, give us your thoughts, questions, opinions, and everything. Just hear how you guys are feeling. So if you want to join that, be a part of that. We love getting new faces and new voices on the show. JoinTheDogs.com if you want to get into that. As far as like injury roster updates, like I said, don't have injury reports or anything like that from the beginning of practice this week. But again, there's going to be like 20 guys on the injury report. There always are. We kind of know who they're going to be. But we can speculate a little bit. There have been some roster moves in the last couple of days. So the Browns cut tight end Blake Whiteheart, one of the only dudes this season to have a touchdown for this offense. Kind of signals, I think, that David Njoku's knee injury that he got in the game on Sunday probably isn't that bad. I don't think we ever got results from that MRI like publicly announced or anything that he had on Monday. But I mean, if they're cutting a tight end from the active roster, that must mean that Njoku is going to be fine for Sunday in Philly. Probably not going to miss any time. Probably also signals that we are, again, not even thinking about trying to go back to any sort of Kevin's offense at this point. No 12 personnel or anything. Otherwise, they'd probably be trying to keep that extra tight end, especially one who's shown that he can actually play a little bit in the NFL. But again, no changes made. I expect no changes to take place. The Browns also cut offensive guard Javian Cohen and defensive tackle Sam Kamara. They also cut 3 guys from the practice squad, which probably means the 3 guys that I just mentioned, Whiteheart, Cohen, and Kamara, will probably get added back to the practice squad later this week. So nothing major there. The only other things to speculate about, of course, the Amari Cooper potential trade rumors are swirling. I mean, we lose again in Philly. We're 1-5. That trade deadline comes up around week 8, I believe. We'll be heading into week 7 at 1-5, going against the Bengals at home. That's going to be nasty. That'll be a nasty environment up in that stadium, getting blown out by the Bengals. That ain't going to be good for anybody on the Browns. Amari Cooper, my expectation is, if you love Amari Cooper and he's one of your guys and you enjoy watching him play for the Browns, don't miss too many plays on Sunday, because I don't know how many more games he's going to be in Cleveland. There are other teams in the league that could use a top-end wide receiver, which Amari Cooper still is, I do believe, and they will trade for him because other teams are serious about winning football games, and the Browns clearly are not, unfortunately. So it sucks. It is very disheartening. I've said this to so many people over the last couple of days, people say, well, you guys are just flip-flopping on your takes. You guys were all about Watson. Now you're not. You guys are blaming Dorsey, and now you're blaming Watson. And, we get new information every week as we watch more games and as we evaluate film and do those types of things. And obviously, as we acquire new information and the Browns give us new things to look at and new numbers and stats to evaluate, we adjust our opinions and our takes and what we're seeing from the team. And I've said to so many people over the last couple of days, you don't know. If you guys are following the show, you guys have been with us for a long time. You've seen the progression of what we've been doing here with the podcast, so you get it. But people that just kind of float by our posts and stuff on social media, I keep telling them, you guys just don't understand how much time and effort and money we pour into this podcast to make this possible, to follow this team. The kick in the nuts that is the Brown season so far is especially hard and brutal and vomit-inducing for us. Because there's a lot of casual fans out there, and I'm obviously not talking about you guys, but a lot of casual fans out there who, when the going gets tough, the TV gets turned off, the radio gets turned off, they move on. They just, all right, I'll just watch the Browns next year. They are not the diehard fans that we are and that you are. When this team is 1-10 because we keep starting Deshaun Watson, guess who's still watching every minute of every game to get evaluations, to get information, to put a show together? We are. Guess who's still going through the numbers and looking at things the entire season and not just turning it off because we're fed up? Us. This is what we're doing. And it's the first season that we've had like this as a podcast. Obviously, we've been Browns fans our entire lives, so this is familiar territory for us. But the content coming out, you'll probably see a little bit of a difference because that's what the Browns are providing for us, unfortunately. So, like I said, it is a kick in the nads, man. It is rough in the streets for Browns fans. And until the team makes a change or decides to try to win, just very, very unrealistic to expect anything else. But we will be with you guys all season, like I just alluded to, because we're not going anywhere. We love the Browns. We love the team. We may not be big fans of what the ownership is doing right now, assuming that they are forcing the Browns to start Deshaun Watson, which, again, ownership dictating the quarterback situation? Have we seen this before? Yeah, baby, this is the same song and dance, but we know this one. We know this move. We've got Ray Farmer texting down to the sideline, telling Mike Pettin to get Johnny Manziel in the game or whatever, and then we get, penalized for all that kind of stuff. This team has done dumb shit before. They will do dumb shit again, and I'm sure they are right now, unfortunately. So I don't know, guys. Hang in there. Hang with us at least. We're going to try to at least provide you with some entertaining reactions to what this team is doing. We are just as flustered and frustrated as you guys are. And if you're frustrated and you want your voice on the show, you can always leave a voicemail. We love playing the voicemails, especially on the reaction shows on YouTube live on Monday nights. You just go to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu or the top menu bar, whichever your phone, computer, whatever you're on, and just record a voicemail. You just do it right there on your device. You don't have to call or do anything. You just tap the option on your phone, leave a voicemail, record it. You can play it back. Make sure you like how it sounds. If you don't, you can erase it, try again, whatever. It's up to you, but we love hearing from you guys. We love hearing new voices all the time, and we love all of our callers who have been consistently providing us with your thoughts and feedback throughout the years. So again, this show just continues to grow because of you guys. You guys are the best audience in the world. We love doing this for you. And there's a lot of turmoil a lot of tension amongst Browns fans right now. There's a lot of people that want to blame Deshaun. There's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people who want to blame Kevin. There's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people who want to do this and that and the other. And all boils down to the team is a mess right now. And we're all in this together as fans. So let's not attack and destroy each other. Let's turn this thing around and put some heat and pressure on this team and say, we are not going to accept just phoning it in 5 freaking weeks into the season. Give us competitive football. We've got a damn good roster. I want to see some wins. The division is not by any stretch locked in. The Steelers have dropped a couple. The Ravens are up and down. They're up right now, but they were down. The Bengals are still 1-4, just like us. There is still room for this team to win games and try to make some sort of push. I mean, teams are going to get injured. Teams are going to lose games. The Bills look like a shell of their, themselves the first couple of weeks. Like it's not over. And that's probably the thing that pisses me off the most about the Browns right now is like, yeah, we're 1-4 and we've dropped some games we should have won. It's not over. Like the season is not done yet. We could still fight for this. Could you just fight for this? I mean, come on. This is it's so frustrating as a Browns fan. Like just try to win the games. Try to win a game. Okay. Before I get too emotional about it and just start screaming, yelling, hollering, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Help us out, share the video around your social medias and everything. If you like the content and all that kind of stuff, tell your friends. And again, if you want to be on the Discord show tomorrow night with everybody, jump into jointhedawgs.com, join the Patreon page, get access to the private Discord, hang out with diehard Browns fans all week long. It is a great place to be, especially if you just want to get in there and vent your frustrations with like-minded people. It's a great place to be. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. And until we talk to you guys on the preview show, let's go Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order. And that code can be used over and over. So you get 10% off every order you make using code DAWGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. Dangercoffee.com, code DAWGS.